And there should be at least 1 or 2 points that you're really interested in and that you understand, because typically people understand about 40 to 60% of each article. There's no pressure to understand the whole thing. So you'll get those, and then 3 to 4 places that you found interesting you might want to discuss with the mentor once you go into their office. So set up the appointment, and the way you do that is there's a template on this blue sheet, and basically it pretty much is a template. That's what it is. You shouldn't use it word for word. Be creative, be original, use your words. But go by the outline, say, "Hi, dear Professor X, my name is such and such. I'm a 3rd-year student at UCI, and I have a GPA of this and this." If your GPA isn't that great, it's still okay. You can make up for it by saying, "I'm an active leader in my school of studies, and I'm taking these relevant classes." Okay, so I'm an X-year student, and what is your goal? What do you want to accomplish out of the research experience? So what would you want to accomplish out of research, Jack?
Get a letter of recommendation.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to say that, actually, because that just shows that you're using them for a letter. Basically say, my goal is to gain really good experience, possibly for the job that I'm going to go into after graduating from UCI, or open up possibilities for graduate school, okay? Make them think that you're actually interested in the research process, other than for, Okay, so second, I've reviewed your faculty research profile and I'm interested in the work that you've done. And then say what interests you about the research that they've done. And keep this point brief. You want to mention just 1 or 2 points. You don't want to go elaborate into it, because first, you want to keep them interested in you. And then second, you want to have something to talk about when you get there at the appointment. And third is, would it be possible for us to meet to further discuss the topic? And give them 2 definite times that you can meet with them. Say it's a Tuesday at 2 and a Wednesday at 3. So then they know that you know your schedule and they can work around you. And it shows how eager you are to get started with them. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about my experience as a UROP fellow and how I got started. So I've been taking Persian as a language requirement, actually, as my major. I'm an English major and bio minor, and I'm a Persian 2C. So when I started Persian 2A, I was really interested in the Persian culture, and I said, hey, how can I get myself immersed in this idea of Persian culture and literature and language, And so I actually seeked out another faculty mentor who was an expert in Spanish, because I was hoping, well, yeah, I'll master my Spanish skills in a quarter and I'll go do some research, but not so good an idea. So I went there and he said, well, you're fluent in Persian, why don't you do some research in Persian? So I said, yes, awesome. So I go to my mentor, and her name's Professor Rahimieh, and it's actually one of the best experiences I've ever had, honestly. I'm going to tell you this, because it gets me involved in something other than my classes, and it makes me get out there on my own and make time for the research that I'm going to present at the symposium. So, does any of this sound really exciting to you guys yet? I mean, does anyone have any questions or comments? Yes,
so when did you actually start it or sent that email? Like after your first quarter or second quarter? Or?
Well, actually after my first year, because I came here as a biochem major and I hated it. And I transferred right out as soon as I could, and I started the English major. And then I wanted to do something with an English major, and I hadn't done anything at UCI yet, so I had to wait a year. And it was a little different for me, but as soon as you know what you want to do, get started. And it doesn't matter when you start, it's just that you start and you have some experience from UCI, because you're graduating from a research university and they're going to look at that. So, cool. Any other, yes, Matt.
What happens if you are graduating? Can we try to extend that for how long?
I wouldn't extend my graduation just to do UROP, because there are opportunities outside UROP to do research, except you don't get funded. You still get the recognition, you know, you go to conferences and seminars, but you just don't get funding for your supplies or any sort of scholarship or something.
Same things, but like
same email, but not as a UROP faculty mentor. Yeah.
So then otherwise, when's like the latest that we can like find a mentor?
Okay, perfect. So the deadline is actually coming up for the spring call for proposals, and that's May 17th, right? So May 17th, and how you want to go about that is you've found your faculty mentor, you have your project, now it's time to apply. So you type first the proposal, and the proposal consists of your general idea of your project. It doesn't really matter what length it is, it just matters that you give UROP a specific approach to your project and tell them through your words that you're looking for funding and you need funding. So you write your proposal and your mentor will walk you through that. There's an itemized budget, so you can get up to $1,000 funding for an individual project and $2,500 funding for a group project of 2 people or more. And that's for the fall and spring call for proposals. So up to $1,000, and in addition to that, you'll want to type a personal statement. So if you've transferred from a community college and you have some research experience there, awesome, you write it down, say, even if it wasn't in your field of interest that you have now, say you have that experience under a specific mentor that you had there. And yeah, usually 70% of applicants get accepted, and my grant was for $300, but I'm an English major, I don't really need supplies, so that was more than enough for me. Okay, so May 17th is the deadline, get on it.